Hi guys, welcome back to Tiffany Diaries. For those of you who are new and this is your first time watching, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. For those of you who are returning, hey, it's so good to have you guys back, and I'm glad to be back here to have another video for you. I just want to say this. There are some of you who continue to reach out to me and ask me, when there's going to be another video, and you encourage me, and it warms my heart. Like every time someone tells me that they watched or they enjoyed a video or they're looking forward to the next one, like it warms my heart because I am constantly thinking about my channel. And even if you see me or not, like I want to give you guys the best parts of me. And so you're never far from my heart. I love each and every one of you, even though I haven't met you. Doesn't matter. But the fact that you're here and you subscribe and you watch means loads to me. So thank you. So for today, what I would like to talk about is religion and spirituality. Now, typically when I do my videos, I do not use any notes. I decide on a topic, something that resonates for me at the time, something that I want to share. Sometimes it's things that are going on with people around me or in my own personal life, and I want to share it with you. And that's kind of how today's segment is. But because there is a foundation that I want to lay, I have made some little notes here so that I can make sure that I don't forget the particular things that I want to hit on today. And it's basically building about a foundation, as I said, because there are going to be other religion and spirituality videos to come in the future. The goal of this channel is to explore things on love, relationships, spirituality, growth, and anything in between. So it's not limited, and thus this is the reason why I am doing something a little bit different tonight. So, or today. So just bear with me here. So first thing I want to talk about is religion. One thing that I first would like to start with, now this isn't in any order of importance or to least importance or anything like that, so is that a lot of times religion focuses on a control factor and can be used a way to control a specific people. Sometimes this can be in a church environment. It could be amongst a culture. This happens in the U.S. and other countries as well. And when you don't believe or do this certain thing, sometimes it can even get you killed, standing up for what you believe in or going against what the majority says is right. Sometimes can cost you your life. And that's one thing that really hurts me to talk about when it comes to religion, is that I feel there should be more love to where people don't feel like they're forced, but it's more of a willing thing. Now, I know a lot of people are like, no, I chose this. Yes, and I'm not saying you didn't, but I'm just saying sometimes it's hurtful to watch when people are shunned because they don't agree with that particular teaching. Another thing is that spirituality and the spirit is mostly thought about in religion in relationship to where the body is at the time, right? So when you're alive and you're on earth, this is, your spirit is here. When you die, your spirit goes there, to heaven, to paradise, to whatever is the place that is reserved for you according to that respective religion. And when you do good things on earth, then your spirit goes here and to this upper, higher, great place, i.e. heaven or a paradise. If you do bad things, then you go here to hell or whatever condemnation place is for that particular religion. And that is pretty much the only focus you really get on the spirit that is within you. You don't get taught a lot about how it correlates to the life that you're living in the universe and the things around you. It's just basically about where it is and where it's going to go. You're not really encouraged to think outside of the box or outside of whatever you're being taught. When you ask questions that you don't know or you don't understand, or you question something that you're being taught, you're either given the answer that they believe is the truth. And if you study outside of that and believe something other than that, a lot of times religion will teach you that what you're doing is wrong and what you're thinking is wrong. And sometimes you face judgment or ridicule from others because of it. And sometimes you're just told that if you don't know something or you don't understand something, it's either because there's not an answer or you're not meant to know the answer because it's just way greater than you, and you're down here and God's up here, and so you're just not supposed to understand. You're just not supposed to know. You're just not wise enough, and you're supposed to accept that, and that's just how it is. And I don't want to say that is always the case 100% of the time across the board, but generally speaking, that is the way it is. And many of you, if you really think about it, that's how it is. A lot of us grew up that way, and you were just not really encouraged to ask certain questions. You just weren't. That's just how it is, and you just had to accept those particular thoughts. There's a lot of competition, and it's not even just amongst religions, like different religions like Catholics, Christians, Muslims, whatever. There's even a lot of competition between churches, of the same religion, guys. I don't understand. So if you go to this church that's on the hill, then you're thought to believe that you fit into this kind of group of people or this class of people. If you go to the church down the street on the dirt road, then you're considered this kind of a person or a poor person or whatever. And everybody kind of knows, when you go to this church, they dress this way and you're supposed to dress that way and behave that way. And when you go to this one, you do this. And that's just how it is. And even amongst the same religions, there is this comparison and this competition. And you can be judged just based on which place you choose to worship. Let's see what else here. You're never really wise enough. You haven't really ever learned enough to really grow on your own. You're kind of always going to have to keep relying on going back to whatever source is your teaching is, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, whatever it is. You only go to that particular source or to your pastor, preacher, priest, pope, whatever. That's where you get most of your guidance and your information from. And you need them in order to continue to be good enough to go to this paradise place. And you're never really able to do that on your own. It's almost like you can never spread your wings. Ooh. Yeah, no, that was a little bit much. But anyways, you don't spread your wings and fly on your own. That's basically what I'm saying. There's a lot of talk about loving God or the divine or whatever the respective, divine is. When I say divine, I mean God, creator. That's the same thing. And love of others. There's not a lot of love of yourself. Don't teach you a lot about loving yourself and how to do so and what that looks like. A lot of people are, committing suicide, killing other people, struggling with deep depressions and anxiety. And a lot of it is they don't know what to do with their own energy that's within them and how to access it and tap into their own power. And religion doesn't really focus on teaching you about your inner power that you have within yourself. And so sometimes people become stagnant, and sometimes people don't know what the next step is or where to go, and they're afraid to ask certain things because they don't want to be judged or shunned, if they do. So it can sometimes cause you to stray away from really finding out other beliefs or other truths that you're wanting to know. Let's see what else we have here. So, also, God is considered the only creator. Typically in religion, whatever that God is, the divine is in that respective religion. That's the divine creator of things, and man doesn't create. Only God creates. In the Christian religion, we all know, and I believe Catholics believe the same thing. You can correct me if I'm wrong. There's maybe some other ones as well. But you're born into sin. So when you're born, you're already in shame and you're screwed, basically, unless you adopt a certain belief, and then you can be redeemed, and then you can be saved, and then you don't have to suffer and burn in hell or be condemned, but you have to believe this or else you are doomed, because you're already born to be screwed. So you got to make this choice so you're not screwed. God is seen separate from yourself. You go to him or you go to someone else to get to him. You pray to God, but if something gets really bad, like really, really bad in your life, like you need something higher than yourself. You need someone higher than you. You need a priest, a pastor, a pope, someone, because honey, you just can't cut it. You just going to God yourself. It's probably not getting the work done, and that's the reason why you're not seeing a change in your life. And you need to go to this person, you need to go to that person. They all need to come together, and you just need tons and hundreds and thousands of people to get this done, because otherwise it's not going to get done, because you just can't do it. You don't have the power to do it. You can't access the power that is God to get it done. So you need something greater. Lots of focus on preserving tradition. Now, tradition isn't bad. I have nothing against tradition. I do have a problem when tradition keeps you from growing and prevents you from being able to explore anything outside of it. Great to keep traditions. Love them. Family traditions, all of them. There is a place for it, and there is a way to also know when to add and take away from those things as you grow. So that's pretty much the religion part. Second part I'm going to talk about is the spirituality part. Spirituality is all about encouraging you to be free, to explore whatever you believe, or whatever questions you have. You can explore them, you can read about them, you can ask questions. Everything is completely open. It's what you're actually supposed to do, because that's the way you grow. In spirituality is by questioning and finding the truth and finding the facts and understanding why things are the way that they are. And sometimes there are multiple reasons, and that's okay, but you are encouraged to do so. Focusing a lot on yourself and growing yourself, loving yourself, in relationship to loving God and to loving others. It is very important to be in touch with what's going on within you, because what goes on within you is how you portray the God that is in you to the world. And that is how you do it. And if you're not building yourself up, and if you're not loving yourself, then people will notice that there's something missing, and you won't be as effective. And you may not even be as peaceful within yourself, because we all as humans need to have a love for ourselves. Not just love others, because love starts within us, and we are love, and we are part of God, and God is within us, and we are one with Him. or God, the creator. I don't really like to say him. I'm kind of working on that. Because for me, God is a combination of all things, masculine and feminine energies, and it's not a him. We've kind of adopted this aspect of a male whenever it comes to that. And I'm not being like feminist or anything like that. I'm just saying that in spirituality, there are multiple aspects to God, the creator and the divine. And wants to be sure and encourages you to understand all aspects of that. Another thing is you don't really need another person to do greater things, like to reach God or anything. You search within yourself to find God, because God is within you. The creator is within you. You were born divine. Listen and say it again. You were born divine. So there is no trying to be good enough. You're already good enough. So that's a really big thing. You're already good enough. You were born divine, and you can co-create with God because God lives within you, and you work together, and you are an example of what God is, and you are needed, and you are an important part of creation and spirituality and the universe and the way things flow. And so that's a really important part of spirituality. Another thing is like I said, being able to get answers. You can test your ideas and your beliefs. If something happens, you can try to figure out why it happened. And you can use multiple avenues to find that. You can use YouTube, you can read, whatever it is, you can meditate, you can pray, you can do all of these things, whatever it takes. It encourages you to do those things in order to grow yourself. There's more focus on asserting your free will. To decide what is best for you and what feels right for you and your spirit, not just what someone else tells you is the right thing to do. That's another thing about spirituality. Spirituality really doesn't force you to believe that you're being punished when you don't do certain things, but it does teach you that whatever energies and whatever you put out, you will get back. So yes, there is accountability in spirituality as well, but it's not so much focused on this extreme punishments, but it's more so focused on whatever you put out, you get back. You know, if you certain, like Christianity says, you reap what you sow, kind of the same thing aspect, except it's not so focused on the condemnation part, but more so on the growth aspect of the actions that you do, the things, and the thoughts. Even the thoughts that you think produce outcomes in spirituality more so than I think religion teaches us. Your thoughts are very, very powerful in spirituality, and getting in touch with your spirituality involves a lot of your mental growth, your psyche, like getting in there and understanding why you think the way you think, why you believe the way you believe, why you feel the way that you feel. And all of those things are vital in order to really growing and understanding yourself and the world around you. So that is it for today. This video may be a little bit longer than typical. I tried to kind of get through the points as quickly as I could. I hope that you guys enjoyed this segment. I will be exploring some other aspects of this, but this is the foundation. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. You're going to get a lot of stuff again on this channel: relationships, love, spirituality, and everything in between. And you can be completely free and open and welcome to share your ideas here. I'm always open to hear your comments and your feedback. So Thanks for joining in tonight. Please tune in next time and don't forget to subscribe if you have not. Mwah. Thank you guys.